Hey guys, new video. And guess what? I'm watching the Avatar movie. I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. I haven't been watching the live action show because I really didn't care for it that much for the first season, so I haven't checked out the second season. So yeah, I'll watch the new movie about Aang, and I'm kind of curious to see how this is because of all the stuff that happened. I avoided all the leaks that happened a couple years ago, so yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So guys, as the intro says, I am watching the new Avatar movie. I just watched the intro where it shows Aang racing the other air nomads back before the events of the original show, and the Yetso getting on him, basically telling him to be respectful and how much, like, he's gonna mean to it. And then it turned into when the night the Fire Nation attacked and destroyed the Air Temple and started the 100-Year War, and Aang waking up with PTSD. I think he's supposed to be in his 20s in this. Um, so, yeah. I also thought it'd be cool if they brought. Well, I don't remember if he had a male actor or a girl actor. I can't remember if he did it in the movie or not, or the original show. I'll have to check into that and do some research. I'm gonna get back to you guys on that later on in the video. But I just wanted to talk about my first thoughts so far for this movie. And going around and collecting the uh, like air nomad relics is kind of cool. I do like that idea. And then the first fight with the Deny, I think is what they were called in the movie, was really done well. I like the animation for it. It is sucked to see the temple get destroyed, which I do believe, if I remember correctly, in Korra they are restored. But I could be wrong. I'd have to do a little bit more research because it's been a very long time since I've watched The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. So there's that. And then when Aang gets back to Republic City, which was a nice touch, I think I try to keep it canon, which I mean they should. This stuff has literally got all kinds of canon and lore out there that I can't wait to see them do movies that think as good as this one. And I like how it's got like a decent anime movie budget. Um, but I like how they have the little detail that he does have the burn on his back from the last season of the show. I think it was, or it might have been book 3. He got burned on the back and he went into hiding before they went into the Fire Nation. And Aang felt like he couldn't do anything. Like I remember that. And him using the Avatar state was cool. I was curious to see how long it took him to use that in this movie. If they really use it at all, with him being as old as he is, he should have, in a sense, more experience as the Avatar, not to need to rely on it as much as he did in the past. I did like that. They should have used it only when he really needed to, which was when he's lifting that building up. Unlike younger Aang, I think Corey used it more the way she should have. But yeah, so that is it. But I don't like that they call it the Avatar spirit though, because it's the state. Because it's all the spirits of the Avatar coming together. It's not just the one spirit. But other than that, that is it for the moment. Okay, guys. So I had so many questions, which are slowly getting answered. Right, as I get further into the movie, but the dude was saying he was the Avatar's brother. That was the Avatar, and when they went and found him, and I thought, okay, maybe they're doing something similar to what they're doing in so or whatever it's called, the new one, where one's the Avatar, so they were taken away, and the other one's a non-bender, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that. Well, it says it's not doing that. He was turned into an airbender because of a staff. So are they stealing the? Because wait, the trailer looks, it looks like he's gonna be the bad guy of the movie. So are they basically doing a harmonic convergence, which happened in Korra with the staff? So are they reusing a Korra plot but differently? Because the staff also works with the spirit realm, or am I just stupid? I mean, obviously, I'll answer my own question later on, but that's kind of weird because I don't know how much of this movie I'm gonna watch before I have to take my girlfriend to work. So yeah, I'm just kind of adding this stuff in as I go today. So, guys, I do like the fact that the dude, I can't remember his name, but the ancient airbender is like trying to teach Aang more about his culture. That is a little bit different than what you know it was to begin with, because Aang still, you know, he didn't fully get to learn everything because of how he's, as he says it, screwed everything up. But I do like that he is trying to teach Aang to be more like a nomad and not be such a hard ass on himself. Pardon the language, but that's what it feels like. I do also like that uh, like everybody's just trying to kind of have fun. They're all acting like normal what you think the Avatar gang would act like. Uh, back in the um earlier show. Sorry, or back in the show where they're just kind of fun and just do what they could with it. I do not like that. Um, Aang is, like I said, I do not like Aang being a hard ass. I don't mind Toph's new voice. I think right, she's supposed to be a blind person, but I don't know if that's what. If they're talking about this or the blind actors for the new show, because they did get an actual blind person, but most of the voice actors besides Aang sound like the original voice actors. Because I know Steven did put voice Zuko in the original. I do remember that. So that is an odd choice, but that's what it is. I'm curious to see how the rest of this movie goes. I do like the whole, like I said, the whole air nomad thing, and also this movie is so dang beautiful. I don't know how many times I'm gonna be able to say that. This movie just looks amazing. So I think that's gonna be it for this part. Well, guys, just watch the divine or the died or however you say it. I forgot already. Try to attack their ship in the storm on the way to the island. I think Ink said looks like it used to be one of the turtles of the elements. And I do like how Taga is. I did finally learn his name. Clap for me. Um, he's like, well, it's my fault that Aang chose to do it because he's not like manipulating because Aang is wanting to restore his people anyways, and it seems like that's what they're also wanting to do. I guess because they want to do it for bad, and I'm curious to see what happens to Taga at the end of this because he's not in Korra, and that's only another 40 years from this, and he's maybe 30 to 50 in this, so he could technically be alive in that show. But so I'm really curious to see how this ends. Like I said, I haven't seen any spoilers. Anyways, I do like Katara fucking snapping at Aang. That was funny. Even Sokka's getting on him, and then you kind of got Toph and just Zuko just kind of along for the ride so far. I mean, they've helped a little bit with the ship when they got the tear apart, but like Katara snapping at Aang, in a sense, even though she is at least dating him in this, I know they end up getting married, obviously, but like she's always kind of had a motherly tone with him and Sokka, so it's kind of funny. Also, I do want to talk about the notes because I don't remember if I said this. So, every note except for Zuko's, Aang talked like how you would think Aang would talk. But I don't remember ever calling Zuko Flamio a hot man, other than them doing a joke about Zuko being gay when he has a daughter who becomes the Fire Lord eventually. So either he's closeted and had a kid just to continue the family, or Zuko's bi or something. I don't know. This is so weird. Okay, peace for now. So Taga ended up actually being a traitor, just having Aang basically unlock a Avatar style vault to get the staff out. I like the scene of Aang using all four elements to unlock the vault, showing that it's only something an Avatar could unlock, and it would be cool to see, even though they won't, but they obviously, shouldn't have them after Korra destroyed the world for the 50 billionth time. I don't know why they're acting like that's a big thing. She almost destroyed the world during the harmonic convergence. But um, that whole idea of there being Avatar vaults out there, I'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to see either a movie where they're building one, like at the end of it they build one or something, or a movie of Aang going to Avatar vaults to find Avatar relics. I think that would be cool. And maybe that's what they'll do if they do another one, because I believe this movie's doing good, even though it did not get a theatrical release. I would have loved to see it get a theatrical release, but because of the leaks, it didn't, obviously. But the guy, Taga, trying to kill Katara has a weak link to Aang, kind of, right? I feel like they said something like that in the show. But she's not really a weakling, she's more of the one that keeps him grounded, so he doesn't end up like Taga. But I do like how they're fighting, and Taga's using the staff. and Aang had to go into the Avatar state to fight him. I'm really curious to see how this ends because I know he wouldn't kill us. He only took the bending away of um, Katara's uncle or whatever he was, his dad or whatever happened there. I can't remember what exactly it was, but like if you guys know what I'm talking about, I know a lot of people don't care about Korra, but like I said, I grew up watching both shows, so yeah. So guys, I think the last part I left off at was when Aang died, kind of, or whatever happened there. Him having the out of body experience. That was really cool to watch. Him going to talk with the avatar that disappeared, like that disappeared off the face of the earth, only for her to still be there, just like kind of self isolate. I guess they didn't really explain why she disappeared. Besides, oh, she stopped Taga, locked him into that thing on the mountain where nobody should have been able to find him, stuff like that. Like they didn't explain why she fully just vanished, kind of like Aang does, except for Aang vanished for a totally different reason. Um, and then Taga succeeding and turning these evil people into evil airbenders, I guess, and making their eyes glow red, which is so stupid, in my opinion. But like, I'm curious to see what happens with this if Aang takes away all their bending, because Aang does know how to do that. So I'm really curious to see how that goes. But so far, I like it. I do also think the part where Katara used the water in that temple thing, whatever, because it was like really connected to the spirit world or something like that. That's what they said. Healed in all of them because they all technically died. It was interesting how it healed herself first, but I like it so far. It's odd, but I like it. Well, guys, I like how the movie ends after the big battle. Also, I forgot to talk about them in their spirit realm forms, where Aang is Kid Aang, Katara and Zuko are older, Sokka is, they look like in the original show for some reason the tops of maybe. That was weird. Not really explained, but I like this show. Or not show, movie. I'm curious to see what to do with the new show. I'm not like 100% excited for it, but I'm gonna give it a try. And I like how the movie ends with Aang finding the rest of the sky, like finding the sky bison and showing how they ended up at Korra. And they building the temple, and the one girl becoming an air, one of the first air acolytes, I think is what they're called in Korra. Because it's kind of weird. Korra is a little, sorry, not Korra, but the one girl story. The one that Aang saves. He saves her, and then they didn't really like show much of the one people, so it didn't really show her like having a conscience with what they were doing. Besides the one fight on the way to the turtles, so that's my only like complaint. Besides whatever I asked to get answered last time, I don't even remember. I'll have to go back and look at it. That's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. See you guys next time. Peace.